Hello guys, this right here is my game called Alien Invasion. This here's the board. It's basically a board game for players 2 to 4, and let me tell you a little bit about the rules. Okay, the object of the game here is going to be, basically you're going to choose an alien race, which is going to be represented by these items here, which are going to be the alien spaceships. So the board pretty much is going to represent space. Now the object is to basically choose your alien spaceship, and you're going to work around the board, and you're going to try to make it to Earth. This here is going to be Earth. Okay, now if you notice on top of the Earth model there's a little spinner, and what's going to happen is there's going to be numbers here, so each person will be able to take a turn, and then you just spin your little dial there, and then it's going to land on a number, preferably 1 through 3. Still working on that, but basically that's the idea. You just do your little spin deal there, and depending on the person's turn, basically you just take your spaceship and you move it to the corresponding area here that corresponds to the number that you land on. Okay, now each player will get what's called the ship card. And if you see here, it shows the ship's health, the ship's shield rating, and the ship's laser power. Okay, which is represented by these little stars here. Okay, basically the idea behind that is, okay, let's say this player goes, okay, so they land on this circle here. The next player goes, okay, let's say the yellow ship here, and they also spin a 3, so they land here beside the other ship. Okay, now what's going to happen is that player has the option to basically declare war on this player here. So there's going to be a 6-sided die that player will roll, and it's going to determine whether or not they do damage to this person's ship shield or their health bar. Okay, and the way that it's going to work is, okay, everybody is going to have a shield rating of 4. So there's 4 stars here. So on the 6-sided die, when you roll it, if you roll a 4 or lower, then this person or this ship here is safe. There's no damage done to anything. Now, if this player rolls a 5 or a 6, then because the number 5 or 6 is higher than the shield rating of 4, then this ship here will lose shields depending on the number that's rolled. So for instance, if they roll a 5, okay, it's 1 over top of their shield of rating 4, so they're only going to lose 1 star. Now, let's put this back. Now let's say they roll a 6. If they roll a 6 because it's 2 over top of the shield rating of 4, they're going to lose 2 stars towards their shield. Okay? Now, you have to basically use all of the shield, or get rid of all of the shields first before anything comes off the health. So let's say the game's been going on a little bit of time here, and let's say this ship here got attacked by another player also. So let's say they have no shield rating left, so their shields are gone. Now anything rolled now is going to do straight damage to their ship, which is their health here. So okay, let's say they land in another area and they declare war again. That player declares war on this player. So basically, if they take the six-sided die and they roll a 3, then that's automatically 3 stars taken off their health, which would drop this one down to 4 health. If they roll a 6, put these back. Say if they roll a 6, okay, so basically that's 6 stars taken off, and then they'd be left with 1 health. Okay, so basically these ships can declare war on each other only if they land in the same spot. You have to land on the same plane in order to declare war, and it has to be your turn to declare war. Okay. Now, basically, like I said, you have to work your way around to planet Earth. Basically, whoever gets to planet Earth, which is going to be the safe spot here first, basically wins the game. Now, as you can see, there's a chance that you can be put out of the game if your ship is destroyed. Okay, which basically means that you have no health. So your ship's destroyed and you're pretty much out of the game. Alright, now there is going to be power-ups and safe zones, and there's going to be I guess universe objectives or obstacles that's going to be out there also. So it's going to be more than just the players basically declaring war on each other. For instance, the blue squares here, okay, here's one, that's the finish zone. There's one, and here's one, and of course the starting is also going to be blue once I change it. Those are all safe zones, and what that means is no matter if the players land on those spots together, you cannot declare war with each other. So those are safe zones on the board. Now, these blue areas will also, a couple of them will also have bonuses where you can actually pick a card and get a chance to obtain a special power-up or you know, some type of advancement to your ship, or you know, something. And an example of that would be, for instance, okay, there's a card that's going to be called Player's Choice card, and basically that gives you one of 3 options that player could use. Now you can actually hold this card and use it at any time. For instance, what it does is it gives you 3 choices that you could make. One of them would be to either move your spaceship up ahead 2 spaces, or you can pick any opponent of your choice and move their ship backwards 2 spaces, or you can use it as an encounter safe card. And what the encounter safe card is, basically, if you land on a spot together, that person declares war on you, okay, you can actually use your encounter safe card, hand it in, basically you turn it in, and it protects you from being for having war declared on you. So it makes you safe. Or you could choose for that person to, once it's your turn, you know, you could choose for that person, like I said, to either move 2 spaces back or so on. So there's going to be several different bonuses that is going to affect you, the players. Now, here's another thing that's going to also be helpful. Let's say, here, let me start these back here. Now let's say you're the orange ship. Say the ship is orange. Okay? Each one of these areas around here is going to be color corresponding to your ship's color. So, for instance, here, let me put the health bars back on the card here. And these are also going to be velcroed, by the way, so it makes them stick to the board and they'll be able to stay in place and so forth. Okay, now let's say you're the orange ship here. So you spin and then you get a 3. Okay, so you would go 1, 2, 3. And by the way, if you notice, there's these little stars in between each space. Basically what that represents is the trail and the pattern of the game board. So you basically just follow it around until you get to Earth. So okay, you're the orange ship and you land on the orange color. Now what does that mean for you? Well, basically there's going to be a pile that is going to be color corresponding to the orange ship, to the orange color on the board. Now what you're going to do is you're going to pluck from that that orange color pile, and when you flip the card over, there's going to be instructions, or there's going to be bonuses or things of that nature that you could use specifically for you and your ship. Here's an example. Okay, let's say you land there, you pluck your card, and the card says it's a bonus. You gain +2 points to ship health. So if you look on your card here, you can see there that there is 7 health there. So you landed on that square and it tells you +2 to health. I'm just going to use, for now, just use a orange and a red star. So you would put those on your board. So now instead of having 7 health, you're going to have 9 health. Okay, and the thing, there's other bonuses too that also increases your shield. You can get like +1 to shield for like 3 rounds of play. So after 3 rounds of play, you have to remove the extra bonus on the shield. Same thing with the blaster or the laser power. For 3 rounds, you can get an extra bonus. Basically, what will happen there is if you roll your dice, and let's say they declare war, and this ship here attacks this one. So this guy here has 4 shields. This one here, he rolls, but he has the extra laser power. Okay, this guy has no bonuses or anything like that, but this one has the extra laser power, which gives him +1 to basically laser damage. So basically he rolls his die and he receives a 5, okay, which is over top of his ship 4 shield. So basically he would lose, the 1 point of damage because it's 1 point over the 4. But because he has the extra +1 laser bonus, this guy would actually lose 2 points of his shield power. Okay, basically it's just the 1 added to the damage that this guy is going to receive. So he would lose 2 points of shield. Okay, and that's basically how that works. There's a few other bonuses also out there. For instance, you might pick a card that says move back a space, move up to forward 2 spaces. You might lose a turn. Things of that nature. So there's going to be other obstacles in the universe, so to speak, that can slow you down or stop you from moving ahead. Okay, now you'll notice here that there's also these red zones. These red zones are basically danger zones. So if you land on a red zone, now this is still a work in progress, so I'm still debating on how this is going to affect the game, but I'm either going to have it where you pick a red card that's going to be something bad every time, or I may have it to where when you land on this zone, it may slide you back to the nearest safe zone, but you'll notice that it takes you from the second track, the second tier, back to the first tier, and back here also. You'll be on the second tier, and then you may have to move back to the first tier. So it may move you back. I'm still working on that. That's going to take a little bit of playing the game and kind getting the feel of how that should operate. But that's pretty much basically it. There's other things there too, like I said, work in progress, but that's it. Alien Invasion. So hopefully more to come, and hope you guys enjoyed that. Thanks.